So I was cat sitting in Shenzhen for a week and working remotely out of there. And to be honest, it was a bit out of my comfort zone because Google Maps doesn't work and you need a whole other set of apps to do anything here. But once you get the hang of it, it's insanely convenient. I was really eager to explore the food scene here, and I didn't really have a lot of time to do research. So what I ended up doing was using DeepSeek to recommend me local dishes. I'm not a huge mall person, but most of the good food here was in the malls. I'm not really into chain restaurants either, but the chains here are really good. So one of the places on my list was OCT Loft. It stands for Overseas Chinese Town, and I guess you could say it's the millennial hipster area of Shenzhen. It's your classic adaptive reuse project. It used to be an industrial zone that produced electronics, toys, and other goods. Now these warehouse buildings are converted into a creative hub. So you've got your small galleries, your exhibitions, your cute coffee shops, your little markets. It's quite a serene, green, indoor-outdoor kind of place. Very different to the indoor mall vibe that you get in most parts of Shenzhen. I was wandering around and I passed by this really cute tofu restaurant called Dou Food. The guy told me their stuffed tofu rice bowl was the most popular, and it looked simple, but it was so fragrant. The tofu had this lovely briny flavor, the meat stuffing was well seasoned, the pan-seared tofu had this like extra umami. It kind of leaves you feeling like you had this really wholesome meal. I was also curious to try their tofu pudding. I got the cold one with osamis jelly and this really delicately diced pear. But honestly, I was a little bit disappointed because it wasn't as smooth and silky as the ones that I've had in Hong Kong. It also has this like slightly earthy burnt flavor that I'm not a huge fan of, and I prefer a more milder flavor. The jelly was still good though, and it was a pretty generous portion. Afterwards, I went for coffee at Shanshi, which is a popular coffee chain. It's a lovely, big, airy space, great for working, and they're even selling random outdoor hiking gear. I went for the oat flat white, which had a slightly floral flavor. Solid coffee. They also have a variety of other drinks like matcha, fruit sodas, and special tea. I was really surprised at how safe it was. This girl sitting next to me left her laptop on the table when she went down to get her coffee order. I can't imagine doing that in any other major city like London or New York. So yeah, pretty amazing. I went to this place called One Avenue, and it's this huge complex of buildings interconnected underground. Coming up from the escalator, I was just amazed at the sheer scale of everything. I honestly spent most of my time just wandering around with my mouth open. I came across this pet shop that was selling reptiles, and they were selling these little frogs in little plastic containers. Honestly, it was actually kind of sad. Huamei, or Harmei in English, is a cosmetic store in One Avenue. I was interested to check it out because it's supposed to have deep discounts on luxury skincare and makeup items, but actually not everything was that discounted. It's a good place to pick up minis if you don't want to commit to a full bottle of something, especially the perfumes. There's a huge range. Okay, this place is amazing. It's called Chaoshan Xiaochu. Chaoshan cuisine is actually also known as Teochew or Qiuzhou food, which I've had loads of before, so I was really excited and I was amazed when I walked in. It's got this long counter with fresh seafood and veg on this like dried ice that was misting up, and there was this goose counter at the back with all the different goose parts. So I got the braised goose and the oyster omelet, which are two of my favorite dishes. The oyster omelet was super delicate, not as eggy as the ones that I've had in Penang and Thailand, and the braised goose was exactly what I expected. The sauce was not too sweet, and they had these nice fatty cuts of the meat. When you dip it in the vinegar, it's just divine. It just cuts through the fat, and it's the perfect combination of flavors. And then I got a plate of stir-fried morning glory with fermented beans. This was way too much food for one person, so I took half of it home, but it was super affordable, could have easily fed 2-3 people, and for food and ambiance, I think this was my top place so far. So at this point, I was ready, really full and ready to go home, but then I walked past this dessert place. It's called Ru Xu Dessert, and it sells traditional Chinese desserts as well as some modern desserts, and also has some pastries. I got the coconut milk shaved ice with matcha ice cream, mango, and pomelo. I never really had shaved ice before, strangely enough, and this was super cold and smooth. The matcha ice cream was nice and strong, not too sweet. And the first thing I thought is, I need to come back here and try more of this stuff next time. So I passed this place. It's called Shao Lao, and it looks so good. There was a long queue, so I knew it was good. You can see the chef hanging the freshly roasted geese in the window, and the skin is gleaming and the fat is like dripping. Like, they really know how to get you. It did not disappoint. We ordered and barely poured the tea and the food already came. We got the Hakka tofu with fermented bean sauce. The level of umami in this was insane, and it was just perfect with rice. The roast goose comes with this plum sauce. It's super fatty and it just melts in your mouth. It also came with this juice that tasted kind of citrusy, like maybe it was grapefruit or kumquat or something. And finally, we got some stir-fried potato leaves to balance out the meal. I highly recommend this place. I think this place and the other Chaoshan restaurant are like my top 2 so far. So I also went to McC, which is this mall known to stock a good range of high-end brands. It's really extravagant. It's just got this glittering atrium thing in the middle. I came across this concept store called Hug that stocked brands like La Mer, Samuel Guiyang. I also went to check out Shu Shu Tong. Not really my taste personally, but really fun to go in and have a look. Oh, and I also went to check out the Songmont store. Their bags are pretty well made. They're lightweight. The bags are also cheaper here than if you went and bought them on their international site. Teastone was this tea shop where they're brewing tea in these giant teapots over charcoal. They have a huge range of teas. It took me a while to decide. And looking at their dessert case as well, they had all these beautiful tea flavored cakes. I got this layered cake thing. I think it was matcha and maybe some like oolong flavors. I also got this mandarin peel tea. It came in this giant pot that they had custom designed and kept hot over a little candle. So the mall has this big indoor space with a fancy atrium, but they also have this outdoor walking street lined with shops and stalls. There was also a house nowhere that had a massive queue, so I didn't go inside, and it also started raining. I think a lot of tourists from Hong Kong come here too because I've heard a lot of Cantonese. Hai Suan Cai is known for their spicy sea bass stew. It's got Sichuan peppercorn in it, and I also got tofu and straw mushroom as my add-ons. The portions are massive. I ordered the mini one and it was enough for at least 2 people. I really enjoyed it, but the broth was a bit too rich and oily for me to just drink it all. They also had a nice tea station with really nice tea bags. They also had some really interesting decor, like these yellow neon pipes in the ceiling. Anyway, very interesting. Another place that was recommended a lot is Jiahua Xiaochi in the Shekou district. I really escaped the mall vibes here. It feels more local. It feels a bit like some parts of the new territories in Hong Kong. You've got the market stalls, fresh meat and produce. I heard a lot more Cantonese, and they even had the AC water dripping on the street, which made me feel like I was in Hong Kong. It's a bit more slower paced, more quiet. There are less high rises and the buildings are older. So I went to check out this Dai Pai Dong and it was super hectic over there. I got there before 6 and it was already packed. There's no queue. You just grab a table when you see one and scan the QR code. They're known for their clay pot rice. You can see them cook it over the stove, and it's a pretty massive portion for like 2.5 USD. I got one with the pork ribs, the lap charm, which is the Chinese sausage, Chinese celery, taro, and tasiu. It came with a side of cabbage broth with liver. I only took a few sips because it's hot soup in a flimsy plastic box, which is just a microplastic broth infusion. Overall, it was a solid dish, but I was disappointed that the rice at the bottom wasn't burnt enough. I also got some coconut pudding dessert, and it really reminded me of the kueh that I get in Malaysia. It had this good flavor and it was smooth and had a chewy texture. Okay, so out of all the malls that I went to, I like this one the most. It's also called MixC, but it's MixC Shenzhen Bay. It's huge. There's a lot of things to see. It's next to the China Resources headquarters, which is the 21st tallest building in China. Some of the stores I really liked was A Surname by Label Hood. I just went around touching everything. The staff were also really nice and we just chatted and they would explain where things were from. Another store I really liked was Angle. This place was huge. I really liked the decor, the way the jewelry was displayed on the red velvet. It kind of felt like a modern take on the gold shops in Hong Kong. They had Korean brands like Nothing Written, and different areas of the store have a different vibe. Uma Wang is a Chinese designer that I heard about, and I was really curious to see their clothes in person. They have really interesting fabrics and flowy pieces. I was really craving just something more simple, like a salad at this point. So I found this cafe called Gaga Chef. I got their chicken salad with strawberries, chickpeas, avocado, egg, and tomatoes. I thought it was really good. The chicken was warm. I also got their coconut matcha latte, which was very smooth, and the matcha had this really floral taste. I don't know, I feel like the people here are so friendly. This glamorous woman next to me at this cafe complimented my bag and asked me where it was from. We ended up having a really nice chat where I even asked her to recommend some local brands because I was like, I love your style. Outside the cafe, there was also this bookstore that honestly felt like a mini department store. It was so beautiful. They had another cafe inside, a wide range of books on design, architecture, fashion, food. They also had a beautiful wood homeware shop with these stunning teacups and delicately made wooden pieces. So I walked over to Kalido from McSee. So I think ZZER is like the Vestiaire of China if they had their own warehouse. There are no price tags. Each item has a QR code that you can scan on their app. You got sunglasses in the front, some clothes, but the bag section was the biggest. I sorted by brand, row after row, organized my model. It was pretty insane to see, but like 70% of it was Coach and Gucci. Maybe it's like the Asian auntie taste, I don't know. Even though I didn't buy anything, it was a pretty fun experience. I wouldn't say it's massively cheaper than what I'd expect. I also went to check out Cuiyejie, which is a peaceful little street with loads of cute little coffee shops. I ended up going to JK Coffee and the woman there was so nice. I got the Earl Grey Basque cheesecake, which was not too sweet and had this really lovely rich tea flavor. And then the oat flat white was really well made, it was very mellow. So I was pretty excited to check out the Muji Hotel. I went to the Muji diner and I got these soba noodles with chicken, egg, and some veg. It was really good. There were so many noodles though, I couldn't finish them. There's also a huge store next door, huge range of products, some I've never seen before. Kind of had some IKEA vibes. There were people chilling on the sofas. Upstairs is all the clothing. They even had Muji Labo. I think I'd want to stay overnight here next time. It looks so good. One of the things you must do when you're in Shenzhen is go to their 24-hour spa. So I went to a place called Tianshan in the Nanshan district. It's quite luxurious, it's beautiful inside, but reasonably priced. There's a big locker for you to store your stuff, and they even give you pajamas, underwear. It costs around 40 USD for a 24-hour pass. You have access to the onsen baths, you can shower and blow dry your hair. There's also a huge living area with unlimited fresh fruits. They had mooncakes out because it was mid-autumn, and they had these sauna pods, and they even had a live pianist, so there was really everything in here. You can also spend the night here. They have cinema rooms and rooms upstairs, equipped with charging cables. I would say the best deal is to have your whole day out in Shenzhen and then finish over here and then spend the night. You get a massage and you get a place to stay the night. It's getting a bit dark outside, but bear with me. The final place I went to is Bahe Li Niu Rou Huohuo, which is a Chaoshan hot pot chain. I actually ended up liking it more than Haidilao. So Chaoshan style has a bit more of a mild, less oily broth. So I chose the ginseng olive soup base. The sauce station was great. I was quite overwhelmed, so I ended up making like several little bowls so I could try everything. I'd never really had hot pot by myself before, and I think this has really converted me. I started off with some tofu rolls, and I got some lotus root, which softens up nicely. I also ordered their signature fatty beef, and it was a perfect portion. It wasn't too big, and the beef was thinly sliced, some spinach, and I think my favorite was the ox tongue. It was so tender and soaked up all the juices. I ate so well on this trip, and the service here is really good. Like, people are so friendly. My Mandarin isn't amazing, but they're pretty patient with me. I think Shenzhen isn't really a place on people's radar. Like, when people come to China, they usually go to like Shanghai, Beijing, which are amazing. I think it's really worth coming here, even just for a day, especially if you're visiting from Hong Kong.